no one's here but me and you and the rest of the internet. All right, we're going to get it started in 30 seconds. All right. All right. There's Susan's iPad.
Okay.
And there's Susan's lovely face.
Okay, let's get the party going.
It's party time.
Party
It's
time.
Sunday fun day. Wow. Got my throat today too. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
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 Barely any laryngeal, whatever's effects. Anyways, happy Sunday fun day underway. And that's all the rhyming words I can come up with. So we have to get started, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so let's come to the front of our mats today. We're going to bring both of our feet close together, we'll have a nice proximity of our thighs close together also. We're going to bring some straightness to the legs, and we begin to warm up our body. We're going to realize, of course, that this is just a warm-up. We're going to kind of explore some range of motion and see what our body's feeling like today. And as we get this underway, I'd like you to pull your belly button up and in. Give me a little bit of six-pack muscle activation. Let's take a nice drift backwards so you feel the heels of the feet mostly weighted, without toppling, of course. We're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears, and we're going to open our thumbs to spiral out to the sides, and then eventually all the way backwards so that the palms are facing away. Now, I'd like you to take your thighs and squeeze them together, straighten out through the knees, and then try to pull both legs together, kind of like you would make chopsticks pull together. Now, take a big inhale, draw the hands backwards. Now, bend the elbows and then straighten them, and then bend and then straighten. Open up those fingers nice and wide, and do this a few more times. And then hold it out, serve it up, halfway, shoulder height, palms facing the skies. We still have that inner thigh connection, squeezing together. You're going to draw back your butt and serve forward the hands. And then you're going to draw the elbows in, palms facing the sky today, and trace the rib cage and pull those elbows all the way back, and then serve those arms all the way up. Keep those legs squeezing for this whole movement of the arms all the way back, all the way out, and do that a couple more times. All right, as we push out this time, fold the palms together, draw back the legs, keep the knees relatively straight. Now, if your low back is starting to fire up a little bit, I'd like you to give me a little more activation with that six-pack muscle. Keep it fired up as we raise the arms and then lower, just a few inches up, a few inches down, expanding the range of motion. I'm going to hint to that as we first started class, and all the way up, all the way back, all the way up, all the way back. Big range here, of course, with the shoulder joints of ours. And then on the next one, I'm going to hold up and bend through the knees as we come down into a squat-like position. Try to keep those knees together or thighs together, depending upon the constitution of your legs. As you reach up, pull all the way to the sky. Keep the hands reaching for the sky. Bend the knees, lower that body. And then rise up, reach up, and lower down. And let's do this one more time. Reach, lower, hold, step back to your plank pose. Good morning, Matt. My best friend, Matt, and I are now having a conversation. Let your chest drop in between the arms and then push up actively. So this is kind of like your torso, moving in and lower through the arms, the shoulders in particular, and then pushing up and above it. And then hold up, pull up and back your hips to down dog. Let's drive the heels into the earth. And on a 5 count, push up onto your tippy toes. And on a 5 count, lower those heels towards the earth.
Push back up to the tippy toes. Ride slowly the heels to the earth. And keep the heels driving towards the earth as you float the upper body back to plank. Now, actively pushing the heels earthward. Keep that, draw the hips up and back to down dog. You should feel a nice lengthening through those lower leg muscles. Keep the heels driving to the earth as you float back to your plank. And then lower the knees down onto the earth. Knees are underneath the hips. We're going to walk back the hands, but we're going to bring the hands or the baby fingers to the edges of the mat. So we have a nice wide hand stance and a relatively narrow knee stance. We're going to take your back. I'm going to imagine a string tied to the center of it, and we're going to pull that string to the sky. Now, as the center of the spine pulls skyward, I'd like you to let the head just kind of fall, and then we're going to take your pubis and kind of tuck it under. And it's kind of a bigger activation, more so in that six-pack muscle as we fire up. Feel that nice engagement. Feel the lengthening through the back, the spinal muscles. Enjoy it for one more breath. As you exhale, let's reverse this. So we're just mobilizing the spinal column and enjoying this a little bit. Let's do it one more time. Center spine pulling to the sky. And keep this now, and we're going to drift the hips backwards towards the heels. And you should feel the lengthening down to the center and lower part of the back. If you're enjoying that, take it to whatever level you want. Come back, so we're back onto all fours. Reverse, as we come into our cow-like pose, imagine the tailbone and the back of the head are being pulled to the sky. You're hollowing out the belly, rounding out the chest, and you're making the rotational effort here, tailbone and back of head, those two areas. Elevating away from the earth as we create elevation of the belly button. Take a couple more breaths here. And then on the next breath, reverse this. Coming to cat, head reaching down, tailbone tucking under, hips drafting backwards as we draft backwards towards the heels. Take the biggest breath you can take in. And as you exhale, come back onto all fours. Elevate the knees by tucking under the toes. And we're going to float our bear-like position. Float it forward, float it back, float it left, float it right, and then circle and reverse that circle. And let those knees come back down onto the earth. Let the head fall, center of spine pulls to the sky. Tailbone tucks under, big inhale. Keep that breath coming into the lungs as you draw the hips back towards the heels. And then come back onto all fours. Flip that tailbone, pull the back of the head. Let that chest crowd through those arms of yours. Hollow out that belly.
It's frozen. Camera's frozen. What do I do?
What,
Always,
Yeah.
we're always on that.
Insecurity. Hey, so
Hi,
you hear us?
I was just listening to queuing, so I didn't notice it was frozen.
Ah,
Anyway, I'll wait.
let's see. Is it registering the camera? Hang on,
Well, it was.
hang on. There we go. All right,
Try it again.
we shall try this again. All right,
Okay, resume the quadruped position.
assume the position. All right. And we were just about to float our bear as we bring our knees up and off the earth. Draw back the hips towards the heels with the knees floating. This is a deeper type of stretch where those quads Float all the way forward, try to get as much forward motion as you can, and then drift back. Hold here. From here, drive the heels to the earth as you elevate your butts into the sky, coming into down dog. It's a narrower stance. That's all good. As the heels reach and drive to the earth, pull the tailbone high into the sky. And let's walk our hands back to our feet and remain folded as we step our feet out to the edges of the mat. Let's turn the toes into the center line. Spread those toes for me today. Straighten through the knees. Draw that booty backwards. Oh, without toppling. Let's walk the hands forward. Feel that nice lengthening as you inhale, extend your spinal column, flatten out the back, whatever you want to call it. Draw back the butt. Walk forward the heels, spine and extension. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let the upper body fall. Float the body forward till you feel the weight more to the front part of the foot, the toe box, if you will. And then draw back, get the weight mostly to the heels, straighten through those knees. Now, while we hold here, I like you to kind of chopstick the legs. I like you to try to pull the heels together. And if you get a little bit of vibration in those inner thigh muscles, awesome, hold on to that. As you inhale, extend to a flat back, keep those legs pulling together. As you exhale, fold back down. As you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now hold the fold. Bend both knees as you straighten the toes to aim forward. We're coming into a squat-like position. We're going to try to lower the hips and then push them all the way back to the sky. Move slowly here, right? We're just kind of exploring range of motion. How low can you go? Can you sink to new lows today? There's a resurgence of that old, bad line. Bending lower as we go. Pushing higher if we can. Now, I'm going to add on to this. Our progression is removing the hands up off the earth and reaching them forward. And then opening the upper body. And then letting it fold back down. Pushing the hips high to the sky. Try to have more range of motion working here through our hips. And then continuing on this, a few more repetitions, seeing if you can get those arms a little higher, chest a little prouder, hips a little lower. Try it all. Today's an all day, right? We're all in today. All right, now bring the fingertips back down. Push the hips back to the sky, straighten the legs as you would inhale, extend to a flat back. And as you exhale, drift the hips backwards. Walk your palms onto those shins. Push the palms, extend the spine. So we have a tabletop back. Now that we've got the hands actively pushing into the shins and the spine nice and long, I'd like you to also pull the head so that the neck finds some nice lengthening if it's not already there. Let's drift back a little more without toppling. Good. Now, while we hold on this, I'd like you to take your right hand, reach it out to the side of the body, and then open that shoulder to the sky. And then return that palm back down, and then switch sides. So we're actively pushing the palm into the shins as we rotate the spine side to side. And let's do a few more repetitions. You're literally just oscillating from side to side, finding more rotational effort. Each time you go through this, try to give yourself a little more effort. And then everyone meet with palms on shins, extending through that spine, bend both knees, and let those arms sweep forward, rotating the palms to face. So we are in a big squat right now. Squat lower, see how low you can go, and then rise all the way up, slow. So imagine 5 count, down, and a 5 count up. And continue. Now, on the way down, how low can you go is our little mantra today. We can only rise up as high as we can be. We can't get any taller, but we can try to get a little lower. Rising back up. It may feel a little more problematic getting lower than you typically go, but this is such a good range extending exercise, just the squat, increasing the range of motion. Always important as we age, right? We want decreases or increases. Increases are good. Now, lower down, hold down, see if you can drop just a speck more, and then rise back up, sweep your arms to the sky, big breath in, powerful exhale, fold it all the way down, take your left leg, step it back. Excuse me. So we are in a lunge position, right foot forward, up on the toes of that left foot. Check back on that left heel. Just take a little look. Is it aiming up at the sky? Perfect. And if it's not, get it there. Extend the spine as you inhale. Now, take the left knee, lower to the earth, and then extend the legs straight. So the left knee is bending, extending straight. When we extend straight, I'd like you to drive the heel back and down. So you get that lower leg muscle. Now, this time, drive the heel back, and from that front foot, I'd like you to push back and bring some straightness to that front leg. So the right leg almost straight. Right knee bends, let the knee go beyond the toe box as that left knee drops to the earth. So the right knee straightening and left knee straightening, and we're just pushing back, kind of like a pyramid pose of sorts. Come back forward, lower down that left knee, plant both hands. So we have them bookending on that right foot. Extend that spine of yours, take the right hand, reach it out to the side, and then open the right shoulder to the sky. Now, if you open shoulder, try not to open the knee. I like you to pull the knee and open the shoulder. Row the spine as you rotate, and then come back down. Keep that knee pulling into the center line, open back up, come back down, and open back up. And as you come back down this time, step that right foot back, pull your hips up and back to down dog. Oh, drive the heels to the earth. Walk your hands back to your body. Try to avoid them side to side, wiggle on the hips. As you come back up to standing, salute the sky or the sun. Bring hands over heart. Take the left foot and step it forward. Pull down on that leg. Same exercise, opposite side. Now we're going to take that right knee, lower to the earth, and raise it up. And we're going to use the heel of that right foot to drive length in that low leg. So we're driving the heel back as we rise up and keeping the heel driving back as we elevate the knee. So we're just creating movement and that nice pull through that lower leg, keeping that right heel driving, very important. All right, coming back up now, adding together. Take that left knee, straighten it up. Pull the hips back, high to the sky. Tippy toes, we're still on that on the right foot. Keep that spinal column engaged, supporting that spine, very important. Let the left knee drive forward, right knee drives to the earth, and then we come back into where we just left. And oscillating between the two. Just take your time with this. And then let's everyone meet. Left knee pushing forward of that left foot, right knee upon the earth. Left arm reaches out, reach for the sky. Now, we have options. This is just the option 2 of the knee on the earth. If you want, you can actually be knee up off the earth. And as we rotate, we find nice length through our spinal column and nice movement all the way through our body, locking down some of those hips, but working some of our external rotators here. Oh, let's do it a couple more times. Feels so good on your inner thighs, I'm sure. All right, come down, frame the foot, come off that back knee, step that leg back into plank. Here we go. Hover low, Kirsten's favorite. The push-up, hover high, pull up and back to down dog. Float it back to plank, hover low, hover high, float back down dog, and do this 80 more times. I'm joking. Let's do it one more time. Holding back in down dog. Gotta see if you guys are paying attention, right? Drive the heels, lengthen that upper body. Walk or step your feet forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold back down. As you unfold, sweep your arms to the sky to salute the sun, moon, sky. As you bring hands back over heart. Got it all covered off. All right, so feet are going to be hip width apart. Let's take your toes and peel them up off the earth and spread them as wide as you can. You'll notice that the ball of each foot, big toe that is grounded to that mat of yours. Now we're going to lower the toes back down and try to keep as much of that big toe ball connected to the earth.
Big ball toe.
Big ball toe. Yeah, whatever. All right, so now that we have that, I'd like you to take your heels and try to push them away from the center line. Bring your hands onto your hips. We have a nice tall upper body. We have good posture, right? So we have this inward rotation by putting hands on the hips. That's the inward rotation of the shoulders. I'd like you to proud out the chest and pull out the shoulders. Nice. Now, engage that six-pack of yours. Keep it active. As we keep that external rotation of the heels, I'd like you to fold forward a little bit. So we're going to build our range as we continue to make folds. So we pull back the hips as we fold forward, but we keep those heels externally rotating. It's going to put a different emphasis on some of the muscles that we're using right now, but that external heel rotational effort of ours, seeing if I can increase the range of motion where I'm completely folded with the external rotators active. Coming all the way down now if it's possible, standing all the way up. All right. Rising up, holding up, relaxing that, shaking out those legs of ours. Nice. Now, sweep your arms to the sky, take a big breath in. As you exhale, fold it all the way down onto the mat, have a seat. This is not class is over. Nope, not yet.
Cheers.
Cheers, fun day Sunday. And Mr. Mark and Ann and Susan and Val
Okay.
and Kirsten and everyone else. All right. All right. What, you need something to do?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Oh, no, I'm waiting. All right, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. So, range of opening through the hips is all relative. So my and your version may be different. You can play around a little bit while moving forward and back the feet. It doesn't really affect what we're about to do. But for the fact that it might feel a little more awkward in certain situations where the foot's a bit, we're going to walk forward now. So as we walk forward, you're going to start to feel the muscles that are involved with those hip of ours starting to react to the weight that we're imparting into them. So I'd like you to try to find a spot where that pull is just enough where I can kind of tolerate this and it feels like I'm stable. And then once you kind of get there, you're going to hang out for a couple breaths. And then we're going to add some spinal flexion into this. So I'd like you to take the thoracic spine and let it kind of flex in. And it's going to add a little more workload for some of those muscles. We're kind of just opening them up.
We're working them isometrically. We're putting more load without increasing the length or shortening the length of the muscle. And then we're going to lean in just a little more. All right, and then let's back it up. And then fold it up so that the feet come flat to the floor. I have my hands wrapping kneecaps. I have my spine growing. I'm trying to get up and onto my sit bones and that pelvic girdle of mine. I'm hollowing out the belly as I proud out my chest, and I'm using my arms to help assist the muscles of my back by pulling through onto those legs of mine. Now, I'm going to add it and impart a much greater workload for that upper body by taking my hands up. Now, the hip flexors and back, did they kick in? You should have felt that. Now, let's come back with hands over kneecap. Push the chest forward, pull the shoulders back, grow the spine long, pull those legs together. Now, this time, I'd like you to squeeze your thighs, keep that active, and then release. Nice. And then come back with hands on kneecaps, reset it, get it nice and tall, squeeze those thighs together, hands extend forward, and Pilates style now, walk it down. I'm going to move on my mat a little bit. Didn't plan that too well. Vertebrae by vertebrae, keep those legs squeezing together. Awesome. Now extend the legs all the way up. Separate them hip width apart. Bring those heels in an inch or two, just a small distance. So there's a very obtuse, very open angle in the knees. With the legs still hip width apart, rotate your thighs into touch and flex your feet. So your toes, your big toes, get an opportunity to discuss whatever they want to talk about. New pedicure, whatever. Add a nice activation, inner thigh wise. I'm going to keep that squeeze of those inner thighs as we bring the fingertips down onto the earth. Flatten out our shoulder blades, crowd out our chest. Engage that six pack. I'm going to drop a bowling ball. Make that muscle group fire up. And as you push the heels into the earth, push your fingertips into the earth. Try to elevate. But most importantly, what? Squeeze those thighs. Yeah. Higher, higher, higher. Relax the neck. Lower down. And extend everything out in opposite directions. Arms, feet, pulling apart. Feeling that nice length through that body of ours as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's rotate your head from side to side. Loosening up those neck muscles. Let's bring those arms back down, scoot those heels in an inch or two, rotate those thighs together, flex those feet, toes get their conversation going on again, pushing the heels as I activate, big push of those thighs together. Most important part of this exercise, that internal rotational effort we're making, engaging those muscles strongly, squeeze harder. Now try to elevate, try to get up off the earth, that tailbone. Keep those thighs squeezing together. More, give me more, give me more. Lower down and extend out both directions. Roll your head from side to side. On that, bring the arms back. Scoot those heels in an inch or two. Rotate internally so the thighs get that nice connection. Flex those feet. Squeeze those thighs. Push the fingertips into the earth. Proud of that chest. Elevate that butt. Squeeze the thighs. Most important. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Can you squeeze harder, harder, harder? And let it go. Lengthen it all out. Woo. And then sweep the arms back over the chest, drop your chin into the chest, and one vertebrae at a time, Pilates style, up we come, and we dive down. Feel that nice release through that low back.
Yeah, that's right.
And the hammies. Yes. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. And come back up into staff pose. I'm going to grab some water because I need it. I invite you to do the same. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
You thirsty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Apparently it's okay. Down on our backs we come. We're gonna step our feet in towards our body. With the feet hip width apart, I'd like you to take your right ankle and put it on top of your left thigh. So it's like a figure 4. So on this, we notice some adjustments that our bodies like to do. So I like, if you can, to try to find your hips relatively square. And then I'd like you to take your 6-pack muscle and engage it, almost like you're taking your pubis and pulling up. Now, while we do that, I'd like you to take your right knee and try to open it away from the body. We're just holding on that for a second. And without the assistance of hands today, I'd like you to take your left leg and begin to pull it in towards the body. So we have knee pushing out, rotating out, and leg pulling in. And we're keeping the hips square as we do all of this. So we're going to try to tug of war. Well, actually, it's more of a push and pull battle right now. So pull, 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 and rotate, rotate, rotate. And then use the rotational effort now to push that left leg back down. Left hip flexor, do you feel it working? Good. We're going to increase this by extending that left leg out and keeping that right foot on the left thigh. So now we have a huge opening on that left hip. We're going to shorten it up. We're going to shorten the angle by pulling that left leg all the way in, hips square, all the way up. Big, big work effort for that hip flexor on the left side. Extending that left leg straight as the right leg pushes the left leg down. We're resisting the movement all the way down. One more time up. Big effort. Pull in. I'm glad we're not using our hands today. This is all hip flexor. As we lower that left foot back down, switch up sides, and we begin opposite side. We're going to take that left knee and try to rotate it away from the body. And we're going to figure out what's going on with those hips. And so if you start to push away and you start rolling up, you're over moving this right now. I want you just to create an activation that creates stability and stretch, stabilizing that lumbar spine, keeping that external rotation of the left knee. Let's begin by pulling the right leg up and in, hands free. We're going to hold on this. 2 counterposing movements. Right leg pulling in, left knee rotating out. Now see if you can pull that right leg in closer and then extend it out. And as you extend, you're extending the leg and you're pushing down with the left side on the right side. Big activation for the right hip flexor. Pull in, extend out, out, out. And on this last one, right foot returns to the earth, as does the left. When we have our feet on the earth, take the hands and reach them right up over the chest. Walk those feet out to the edges of the mat. Drop your chin into your chest as your arms sweep forward. Try to come up Pilates style. This is much different with leverage here. Walking forward, diving down. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. All right, now lie back down again, extend out all the legs. Oh. I don't know about you, but my hip flexors feel like they got a good workout there. All right, so we're going to take an opportunity just to lengthen out the body. Take your toes, point them in one direction, pull the lower body that direction. Take your arms above the head and then use the fingers to pull the arms nice and long. Take a big breath in, hollow out that belly. As you exhale, let everything just kind of fall wherever it feels comfortable doing so. And roll your head from side to side. All right, now. Let's take your left foot and right foot and step it in. You're gonna bring your right leg over top of left. We're gonna take our left leg and pull it up and into the body, and we're gonna wrap the hamstrings this time. And we're gonna pull, with the assistance of our arms, of course, the left leg into the body and bring the forehead up to meet the knees. And then relax this down. And then now we're going to add on to this by grabbing our feet with our hands. So wrapping hand over heel, and we're going to open up the legs. We have that rotation. So that arm pulling and opening. Let's take your forehead up towards the knees again. And then lower back down. Keep the feet opening up as you open up through the hips. So the range here is going to be limited by the length of your arms. I get that, but give me as much as you can. Pull up and basically crunch into the knees and extend back out. And switch sides. We begin just by pulling the knees in. And you'll notice, my hips get a little funky, so I like to try to keep the hips square. As you pull in the knees, bring your forehead up to meet your knees, lower back down, and then walk your hands onto your heels and begin to pull the legs up and in towards the body. Let the legs drift out. And then pull the knees back in. Forehead comes up to meet. Little mini crunch. Opening up slowly. Coming all the way back up slowly with that little bit of crunch. And then unhinging those legs, extending them both out, take the hands above the head again, and lengthen out both ends. As you release your breath, bring your hands back over chest, Pilates style, up we come. Dive down, extend all the way out. Inhale, extend to a flat back. And grab some more water. I'm fighting a little bit of laryngitis. My apologies. Too much information. You said it wouldn't be bad if I didn't talk so much.
I said you don't need to.
Oh my God, my wife just told me what? All right, keeping that back in extension. We have this nice extended. We're going to walk the hands forward, keeping the back in extension. Flex the feet. Walk forward a little more. Back is extending. Walk forward the hands just a little bit more. Fold down. Let that upper body relax. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk the hands back in. Let's take that right foot and plant it inside the left as we center line our left and right legs. Right foot planted. I've got a nice grip on top of that right kneecap, rowing the upper body nice and tall. I'm making sure I'm not on one side or the other, equal to both. Pull, 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 the spine nice and long. Now hold with the left arm. If you can wrap and get your elbow, the inside nice and wrapped around. And if it doesn't go there, fine, hands also good too. Most importantly here, I'd like you to take your right hand, post it down, and use it to create extension through the spinal column. So we want to try to get out of this flexed state and get as much length. Before we start adding any rotation, I'd like you to grow the spine long, grow the neck long. Now take the gaze of your eyes and start to turn them. So just the neck making its own rotation right now. And then come back all the way center. And then do it with the neck one more time. See if you can increase how much
rotation you can get there. Nice. Now, when we come back this time, I'd like you to take your arm, reach it forward and try to grow it back, reach it back, I'm sorry, and try to grow the spine. And then come all the way back, post it, extend it, keep that spine extending, reach back the hand as we begin to rotate and open the shoulder carriage and the head. And then come all the way back forward, extend the right leg out, bring that left leg in. We're still maintaining that center orientation. We're going to bring that wrapping if we can, posting that arm. Neck is our first target here. Look back, come back forward, rotate back, and back forward. And then one more time back with the neck, and then come back forward. And then left arm reaches back and we grow and rotate and come back. Post, grow, reach as we keep the spine extending, coming back. Post and grow, keep the spine extending, rotate back, look back, see if you can increase a little more, that little opening, if you get it, you got it, you're good. Come back, extend the legs out, come back down onto your backside. Oh, extend the feet up and into the air. The legs nice and straight. Now, we're going to take our hands on our hammies and we're going to begin to open up the legs. Yeah. And then come back together with the legs. All right, now I'm going to keep that left leg in place. We're going to release that right leg and we're going to drop it down till the heel touches the earth. Oh, get that left flexor. Ooh. Now drive that heel out and away from the earth. That's going to bring some straightness to the leg, engagement of those quadriceps on the right side. Keep it active as you sweep the floor with the heel. So that heel of yours is just going to open up so that the leg is nice and straight. Then come back to center line and then lift it all the way back up. Grab that hamstring, let the left leg come down. That left heel pushes out and away from the body. And then we're going to basically sweep the floor with the left heel. Moving it out, coming in back in, and raising back up. And then right leg comes down. Right leg sweeps. And back in, up, opposite side. And pull both knees up and into the chest. Forehead up to meet knees. Let's rock and roll back up to a seated position. Nice. Now sweep those legs back with you. Come down to all fours. We're almost done, believe it or not. Holy mackerel. Time just flew by today. All right, so cat, cow we've done earlier. We're going to do a little more stability exercise, but more like stretching. So what we're going to do is going to pull the hips back towards the heels. Toes tucked under if you want, toes or top of the, sorry, whatever your foot position preferred, just do what you feel best. As you walk the hands forward, just to open up our lats, feel those nice straight arms. To optimize the release through those lats of ours, we're going to keep up off the forearms. So it's going to create a different lengthening. So we have more of that muscle chain active in the stretch here. Walk the fingers forward more. Give me some proud chest. Oh, yeah. So minimizing any kind of other joint action. So we don't want the elbows bending down right now, but we want them rotating towards the earth. So we're going to spiral them down while we keep them relatively locked out, if you will. Hips pull back, elbows spiral towards the earth, and come back up onto all fours. Walk the hands back under. We're going to come up onto the knees. Beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of flossing. I know it's an easier class today, so We're gonna draw the shoulders up. So we're gonna take our thumbs, open to the side, we're gonna rotate them internally and then externally. And just have our way with it, in and out. Keep lifting the shoulders as you rotate internally and externally. Now let's hold up. Keep those shoulders held up. Take your elbows and bend them. Make your like hands or fingers into kind of like the OK sign. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically take our elbow, lift it up, and bring that hoop towards the eye, and then lower the elbow back down, and then opposite side, and just do side to side. And believe it or not, this is a technique which is called flossing. We haven't talked about this at all, but basically it allows us to kind of, yeah, it looks like we.
We'll just keep going because it's 9:30.
All right, so now that we've flossed, that was the last exercise we were doing today. Let's everyone come up onto his feet. Let's bring hands over hearts. There I am back again, praying that the camera doesn't act
Yeah,
up.
but you're not moving.
I'm not moving. All right,
You're praying.
yeah, I'm praying for.
Okay, we're good. We're done.
Yeah, namaste. Thanks for
Frozen
coming.
camera.
Frozen camera. Thanks, camera. Way to go, pal.
There's Sue. Frozen camera.
Hello.
Yes, we need a new camera.
I don't know. Sean's like this. It's like, okay, cool.
Exactly.
All right, darlings. No worry. Thank you for that. That was good. I needed that stretch.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe you can put the camera in the oven if it's frozen.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Have a good
Tuesday.
day.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you too.